Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel Trading Secrets. This channel is for entertainment purposes only. For those of you who do not know, my name is Ali. I have over 20 years experience teaching accounting, economics, business and law. Through this channel I'll be providing some stock analysis and a quick update on the $1 Million Challenge. So if anybody's not aware of this is a journey of an investment of $1,000 to a return of $1 million over a period of 3 years using a strategy called compound return investing. So the objective is try to get 201 trades, each with an average return of 3.5%. It's not 201 consecutive trades. We do take into account losses. So for further details about how to join us for less than $9 a month and also get access to an exclusive in-depth strategy video, information is available in the description below. Previous video we looked at MMTLP and the focus was on some important updates from John Berder, so please refer back to the previous video for those updates. In today's video we're going to be looking at MMTLP and key questions with regard to broker issues and also what you could do in response to the broker problems. So we're also going to be doing a quick update on MULN, Mullen Automotive, so stay tuned for that. Let's start by having a look at what's happening in the markets. So quick headline here from Yahoo Finance. We can see what the Fed have stated that no rate cuts are expected in 2023 due to the inflation risk, and that is something that to keep in focus. However, although we got that news in terms of the overall markets today, yesterday was a red day, but today we have good recovery in many of the stocks, so including Tesla up very close to 5%, Apple up just close to 1.2%, but Microsoft is down in excess of 4%, Google's down in excess of 1%, but overall not too bad a day. So before we look at the broker issues, let's have a look at some other important updates. So the first update here is from Russ in terms of the share count. So let's see the latest data and figures that he has just shared. So what he stated here, so one thing to remember, this is a non-official share count and non-official estimate. So he's had, in terms of form submissions, 3,687. In terms of the average holding, we're looking at 9,740. If we times that by 64,000, that it comes to approximately 623.36 million shares. So it certainly looks like a problem, but obviously remember this is estimated figures based on an unofficial count. The final update here is from Ham the Short Killer. So this is somebody who I think is certainly got a great insight to how the markets operate. So I think Ham is an excellent source that is trying to help us out very positively. So he's provided a reassuring message here and said they will fold. Call the SEC, call FINRA, you will get paid. The shorts will get exposed. They are trapped, so 100% agree with that. Shorts are trapped. They have not closed. The rules are that they must close, and the SEC and FINRA must investigate, so we do demand answers. Let's now start by having a look at some of the concerning messages being shared by the brokers. So this is from Webull, and what it states in this message here: Dear value client, our clearing firm Apex has opened up a reorg event to facilitate the transferring of your shares of NextBridge to AST. So the terms of this event are posted below. Please be aware there is a $235 fee, which consists of the following breakdown. Process this event, $130 AST, $105 Apex. The fee for this event is higher than the typical DRS transfer since the event involves the processing of physical certificates. The deadline to submit instructions is January the 20th. So this, in my opinion, is putting undue and unnecessary pressure on retail investors. The imposition of this fee is also going against the S1, so we'll have a look at that shortly as well. But let's have a look at another follow-on message, what they've stated here. If you do not wish to transfer your NextBridge hydrocarbon shares to AST, they will remain in your Webull account under an internal placeholder and the shares will be held by Apex Clearing. So could you please specify what rights or opportunities? Depends on what you refer to, but it will typically be the same. We may need to wait for further announcement for further information. So this is the concerning messages that we've just had from Webull. So first of all, let's have a look at what the brokers are doing. First of all, the brokers are basically using physical certificates as though you may need them to get into AST. So this is not necessarily true. What the S1 states is the S1 states you do not need physical certificates, only on special request. So the brokers seem to be nefariously using this charge Obviously we could say to spread FUD, but what I'd now like to do is give a shout out here to Mark Twain for posting an excellent information here to counteract what the brokers are doing. So let's have a look at some of Mark's posts here. What he stated here is, everybody holding MMTLP placeholders, you need to read this. Brokers cannot charge you for transfer to AST. There is no physical certificates of NextBridge hydrocarbons. Please see the corporate S1 notice from NextBridge here. We'll have a look at that shortly as well. In the follow-up thread, what Mark has also stated here is, as per corporate action notice S1, and thus we will not issue any physical stock certificates other than upon request. So this is going against the grain of what the broker Webull stated in the message. And what Mark is also saying here, you will not be required to make any payments, surrender or exchange your shares of Series A preferred stock, or take any other action to receive your shares of common stock. That is also true. And again, we're going to have a look at that in the S1 shortly as well. As per corporate action, they need to be in our names in book value at AST, not held in any broker clearing house, so they can hold, hoping NextBridge starts to trade and they can flood the market with these fake counterfeit shares. So I hope the brokers are not trying to sort of have some ulterior motives. And then let's now carry on with Mark's post here. He said, do not accept this BS brokers are peddling. I'm sure you know what BS is. They cannot make their own rules up, or corporate action supersedes everything. So and then finally what he stated here, we are not at that stage yet. Again, very good point. NextBridge and AST will want the list of shareholder information from brokers very, very soon, because we have to reconcile the shares. 7 days overdue as per the NextBridge Hydrocarbons website, 2 days for distribution from December the 14th. So that has now expired. And the final thing I'd like to share from Mark is basically, as per NextBridge Hydrocarbons S1 on page 12, you do not need to do anything. So key reminder, let's now proceed to have a look at this S1. So from the S1, under the section distribution, I've highlighted two key areas here. So the first one in green, you see there, it's we will not issue any physical stock certificates other than upon request. So the request should actually come from you as the retail investor. What it looks like Webull are doing the request on your behalf, which is a little bit controversial and a little bit cheeky. So they should not do that, because it states in the S1 physical stock certificates are not required. The other thing I've highlighted in yellow, you will not be required to make any payment under surrender or exchange your shares of Series A preferred stock, or to take other action to receive your shares of your common stock. So this basically means the whole responsibility for getting you the shares of NextBridge Hydrocarbons remains with your broker, and it also remains without a fee. The next shout out I'd like to give is to Uncle Smokey, who's just received a reply from Webull. So let's have a look at the response. And what Uncle Smokey has posted here is some good explanations, but number 4 is the most alarming in terms of the response. The fact that it is being lent means it is being traded. So again, this is something that FINRA and the SEC need to have a look at. The system is broken and needs to be shattered to be exposing the truth. So great point there. So let's have a look at here. We'll start with number 1. The event of the spin-off is mandatory, does not have to have any fees. However, the transfer is a voluntary service that will incur a fee. So interesting there that Webull are acknowledging that it is voluntary. So and they've also acknowledged that there is no fee. Number 2, if you do not transfer your shares, there will be no issuing of physical certificates to AST. Remember, we don't need physical certificates. Your shares will remain at Webull, held in Apex Clearing street name. So that should also be sufficient. Number 3, Apex cannot hold private securities in a customer's name, but can hold in street name. After a 1 for 20, no instruction of transfer can be entered. Now let's have a look at the controversial number 4. Theoretically, shares can still be lent out even if the stock is not tradable. However, you have removed the stock lending program, so your shares will not be lent out. Now, this is something I would like Webull to clarify. I would like FINRA to have a look at. I'd like the authorities to have a look at. I'd like SEC to have a look at. why are shorts being involved in still, well, what Webull are saying is that the shares can still be lent out. So this is quite significant. Number 5, the terms include transfers from both individual accounts and IRA. So some great updates here from Smokey, and let's have a look at next shout out to John Bowen, who's also provided an excellent plan of action. And what he stated here: look at your messages from your broker about transferring to AST, and this is from TDA. Clearly said you do not need to do anything for the transfer. That does not include a fee. Demand they are transferred to AST in book value in your name. Great advice there from John. And finally, I'd like to just have a look at an overall summary of in terms of many people who are obviously not feeling too good at the moment in terms of the whole situation and the play. So this is one of the messages that I shared in the Discord for people who are not feeling too good. So what I've stated here is, in my opinion, I think behind the scenes, brokers, hedge funds, authorities, they know they have a big problem. The problem is getting bigger, and the problem is not going away. We as a community are getting louder, and we are not going away. So one reason I think we have not got any official specific reply to any question, whether it's to FINRA, whether it's to SEC, or whether it's to any other organization in terms of our queries, is that if they reply with a specific response to any complaint publicly, this could actually expose them, and it could put them in a difficult position for any future litigation. So in my opinion, this could be one of the reasons why they are not replying to specific questions, because I think maybe behind the scenes they're trying to fix the problem, and they're also being very, very careful in terms of what they are saying. Normally, for a normal complaint, you would get a detailed response. So I don't know what the situation is in America with regard to the Fifth Amendment, but from my point of view, it looks like the brokers, the SEC, FINRA, seems to be claiming the Fifth Amendment. I'm not sure if that, I'm assuming the Fifth Amendment is the right to remain silent.